What's up guys, DuArktik here with another Marvel Strike Force video, and in this video we are going to talk about Spider-Man 2099. We're going to take a look at some red stars I opened for him. We are also going to take a look at his unlock, and we are going to talk about overall his kit, how should you prioritize him. We're also going to talk about ISO options, T4's, and then we are going to take him to Dark Dimension 3, and we are going to have a feeling of how exactly he works together with other characters, part of this Tangled Web team. As always, if you like the information on this video, make sure you share it with your friends on Facebook and Discord. If you're new to my channel, make sure to subscribe for more Marvel Strike Force content, and make sure to smash that like button. So let's get started. Okay, so first off, we are going to open some red stars for Spider-Man 2099. He was not visibly in the banner, but he was already on the red star, so I just decided to open it. And I was looking for a 4 for him. 4 is fine. If you got a 5, it would be great, but I'm trying to get some Elite 6s for not for this patch, but for the patch after, where we should get some Horseman character shards, or I don't know. I expect the Death Horseman characters, part of the team, to come up next patch. So yeah, we are just going to use the Elite 4s. Like I said, the 4 is going to be enough for him. There we go, so we only had to open 3 orbs. And that's fine, because most of the stats comes from his kit, from his passive, gets additional focus and so on, so it's not going to be super important for him to have huge red stars, at least early on. Maybe down the line we'll get some more red stars for him. Okay, so we are going to pick up his offer, and you have to decide if you want to buy the offer in-game or if you want to buy the offer on the web store. On the web store you get those additional rewards. You get 1 million gold, you get 3 gold orbs, which is nice. But if you have Amazon coins, or if you use Google Play, you might prefer to buy it in-game. In my opinion, I think it's better overall to just buy it on the web store, so you get all those extra goodies which are usually important to get him up. Okay, so we are getting a little bit lucky. We are getting a few 10 drops. Now I got a 6. It was nothing extraordinary, but it's always nice to, if you can afford to unlock the character, you should be happy already, because you have a huge advantage over everyone else, and sometimes it feels like people don't have appreciation. You are already unlocking the character 1 month before everyone else, so appreciate that at least. And especially this character that is going to be a month-long event, it's gonna take you a very long time in order to unlock him. Now, this character, unlike Abomination, I'm not going to recommend to spend cores on him, because while he's a decent character, he's mostly for Cosmic Crucible. He has no uses in raids, and it might have some minor use in raids. He's gonna be decent in Dark Dimension 5, but is he a character? It's not part of a Horseman team. He uses the same mini uniques as Spider Weaver, so if you are investing in one, and Spider Weaver should have the priority because she's part of the Apocalypse Saga, then you cannot gear up this guy at the same time. So there we go, Spider-Man 2099, and you can see that his scape is bugged out. All these sparkling things should be coming from down, not from his Skype, but there we go, Scopely with another bug. Okay, so now we are going to gear up this character, and we are going to talk a little bit more about him. These new characters, if you are not going to think about investing on them early on, just gear them up to gear tier 12, level 65, just to get a feeling out of it. And then you can decide if you want to gear up more or not. For my testing, I always need to gear up the characters at least to level 75, so I can apply the ISO blue level 5 green, not ISO level 5 green, and then the ISO blue level 3. And also gear tier 14, because some of the characters, they have a huge jump in stats when they go from gear tier 13 to gear tier 14. It was not the case for this one. His gear progression is actually pretty linear. So yeah, we are still gonna take a look at him in Dark Dimension 3 with the Spider Weaver and see the combination of the characters, how they work out and so on. The thing about Spider Weaver, it's that she gives 40% additional HP to Spider-Man 2099, so that's a huge amount of HP. And this team, while the team is great together, but Spider-Man 2099, it cannot apply offense down to the enemies to increase his survivability. So this is something that you want to do, is to pair him up with characters that increase his survivability. I mentioned in my previous video that a good combination would be to pair him up with the Weapon X, and I'm still behind that idea, because we have Silver Samurai and you have Omega Red, both apply offense down, and Silver Samurai has the taunt, so with that you can protect this character in case you want to use him on a hybrid team on Cosmic Crucible. And why would you use this character on Cosmic Crucible on a hybrid team? It's because you can use Spider Weaver on defense, which is a great character to be controlled by the AI, and this character, on the other hand, you can use him to defeat enemies like Bishop together with the Darkhold, that mystical team that duarktikhq talked about, that you are not able to remove the taunt from from Bishop. It's actually not the case. I just experienced my first fights on Cosmic Crucible, and everyone is still using Zemo to remove the taunt of Bishop. So all that drama, all that bullshit, and at the end of the day, my concerns about the topic were right. Zemo can still remove the taunt from Bishop, and Spider-Man 2099 is going to do that even better, because he has much higher focus than Zemo has. Okay, so we are finishing up, gearing up this guy. So after you're gonna take a look at the T4's and the ISO 8 recommendations, I think those are pretty obvious. The ISO 8 recommendation, you want to use mostly the Skirmisher or ISO 8 or Raider ISO 8. He's not like an amazing Raider, but he's a decent Raider. And the reason why he's a decent Raider is because he gets additional effects whenever he crits. Those effects are going to be extending all the negative effects on the enemies. And we don't know exactly if this ability is working properly. So on the next Cosmic Crucible match, if I have the opportunity, I'm going to use him out and see how exactly this works, because right now it's a big question. Is it going to extend all negative effects on all enemies, or if it's just the negative effects on the enemies that he's attacking? So this is a big concern, but I'm going to equip him with the Raider level 5 green, and then I'm going to put the pieces for the ISO 8 blue, but I'm not going to equip the ISO 8 blue because I might to change him after to Skirmisher, depending on we are going to use this team. The team itself, the Spider Weaver, Spider-Man 2099 and Spider-Man Noir, most of them they don't have any buffs, or they don't have any additional effects whenever they have the crits, so there is no big reason for the characters to use Raider unless you are just trying to extend the negative effects, and that's it. So we'll have to test him out in Cosmic Crucible and see exactly if it's gonna make a difference or not. Okay, so now that we talk about the ISO 8, now that you have the character geared up, let's take a look at the T4's. So on the basic attack, he's going to deal more single target damage and also secondary target damage. The damage is not piercing, so this is something that you need to have in mind, because it's not going to bypass armor. And when you do the T4, you are also increasing the damage of the bleeds applied by the basic, which is to the primary target and secondary target. It's only one bleed, so it's not gonna make a huge difference, and his damage is pretty good. But if I remember correctly, his passive attack, passive attack gives drain, gives focus and gives resistance. The damage, the additional damage is going to get from Spider-Man Noir. So until you have Spider-Man Noir, it's not gonna be really important for you to concern about the bleed damage, because you need to have as much base damage as possible, and the T4 and so on. So just wait for you to have the whole team before you consider doing the basic. Then we have the special, and the special is the same thing. It also applies bleeds, it also deals non-piercing damage to the enemies. So it's something that you might consider down the line. It's something that you might consider if you have a lot of yellow stars on red stars on him, but now early on there is no reason to spend your T4's. Now with the ultimate is a different story, and the reason why it's because he's going to attack all enemies, and this ability will be available on turn 1. So you're going to be able to apply slow and defense down for 2 turns on all enemies early on. He is at 127 speed, which is very strong, and once again, because he is so fast, if you use him together with the weapon X, because the negative effects last for 2 turns, you can use the special and the ultimate of Omega Red, and those abilities on the defense down on the characters, they just wrecked. It's quite amazing. Okay, so the ultimate is something that you should consider now, in case you have some T4s available and you have this character ready to use. And finally we have the passive. Now the passive you can see right here, focus for self and tangled web allies by 25%, so that's gonna be nice. And then it reduces the damage reduction of enemies if Spider Weaver is an ally. So it's gonna depend. If you have Spider Weaver on defense and if you are going to use this character on offense, this is a T4 that is not going to be worth doing it right now. So yeah, overall you don't have to do any T4s, you can just hold back and get some additional yellow stars on red stars on him, and then you can consider the T4s, but right now it's not a priority. People are asking me how many red stars should you aim for this character. Well, you should aim for as many red stars as the yellow stars that you are going to unlock. So if you think that you are just going to complete the event, if you are not going to buy any of the offers, then 4 yellow stars, 4 red stars is going to be a great set point. Beyond 4 red stars, I would not do it right now. I would save all my red stars for the upcoming patch, because I think the next patch is going to have some very strong characters. And while Spider-Man 2099 is a very interesting character, I don't think he needs the red stars in order to be useful. So that's everything that we need to know about Spider-Man 2099. So now let's take a look at some gameplay and see exactly how he performs together with Spider Weaver. Okay, so we are going to take a look at this team in action, and this is a possible team that you can use in Cosmic Crucible defense. Longshot, Charge Star and Polaris, they are all hero mutants, so they are going to get additional damage reduction and resistance. So they're going to be very powerful on the Cosmic Crucible, and you can use them on defense, on or offense. They're going to be great either way. But I want to use them together because Spider-Man 2099, he has that crit chance, so you might get some benefits out of Longshot and Shatter Star. And Spider Weaver, she works well anywhere. You can use her as a skirmisher or as a striker or as a raider, whatever you want. Both of those options are going to be valid because she has low cooldown, she has a lot of energy, and overall that's a good thing that you want for raiders. And she also kills, and when she kills, the characters are not able to revive, so this is something important, and this is why striker, raider or skirmisher are going to be viable. Skirmisher is just for the stun that she applies, that also applies trauma in a Cosmic Crucible. Okay, so let's get started, and I have faith that this team can win on auto on this Dark Dimension 3. And the reason why, it's because of the reduction of accuracy from the enemy. So let's see if it's going to be the case or not. So Spider-Man 2099 starting off by applying slow to everyone, and this is without the T4, so it's going to be a lot better because the slow would last for 2 turns with the T4. So this is something that I might do after this when I go for Cosmic Crucible, because it really justifies. And you can see Spider Weaver, she gets energy whenever she's attacked, but also when Spider-Man 2099 is attacked. So now you have 2 characters that whichever character gets attacked, they are going to get energy constantly, and this is so broken. It's actually pretty ridiculous how broken this is. Okay, so from what you already experienced on the campaign of Spider Weaver, Unfortunately, Spider-Man 2099 doesn't have any cool finishing abilities, and hopefully that's something that changes in the future. To be honest, I'm a little bit disappointed on the design of Spider-Man 2099. He looks way too much like the OG Spider-Man, just with a sponsorship from Nike or from Adidas or something like that. So in that regard, in terms of the animations and in terms of the look of the character, I think he is just way too generic, and it really doesn't transmit anything that is from the future, or that is buff. He is way more buffed than Peter Parker in the comics. So it's a little bit disappointing in that regard, and I would really wish that they would do something about it, because it looks like any generic Spider character, once again sponsored by Nike or Adidas or Reebok or something like that. Okay, so as you can see, because of the insane energy flow from Spider-Weaver, and because even if Spider-Man 2099 is attacked, she's gonna have her cooldowns constantly. This is just ridiculous, and we already defeated 14 enemies on auto. This is so ridiculous. And none of these characters are like particularly good in Dark Dimension, so we are just using C-tier characters for Dark Dimension, and it's working fine. Once again, because of this combination of Spider-Weaver with Spider-Man 2099. Once again, he's gear tier 14, level 75, so yes, the other ones are a little bit bigger, but still, he is holding on very well because of the abilities of Spider-Weaver, and also because he's applying the slow ability blocks and so on to the enemies, which is crucial for his increased survivability. Okay, so just before we end the video, like I said before, you can still use Zemo to remove the taunt from Bishop. Like I said, this is why I had concerns, because of the way it works, and I think Spider-Man 2099 is going to do a better job than Zemo does, removing the taunt from Bishop. We'll see that in the future if I have the opportunity. Unfortunately, I don't think I will have, but we'll see. I have a few hours left in order to do this Cosmic Crucible match, and yeah, this is the unlock and the red stars for Spider-Man 2099. You don't have to spend a lot of red stars for him. Even if you get 3 red stars, that's gonna be fine, once again because he has this additional focus to flip the positive effects on the enemies or to clear them away. Also, he flips the positive effects on the enemies the same way Abomination does, and he also gives himself a drain, focus and resistance that overall are going to allow you to survive for longer, and to also apply the negative effects that this character is able to provide to the enemies. So it's a decent character, it's a very PvP focused character, and like I said, if you're not gonna buy these offers, if you're just gonna do the event, just unlock him at 3 red stars or 4 red stars, that's gonna be fine. You also need some place where to spend your silver promotion credits on, right? So don't worry about it, don't worry about the red stars. It's a nice character, it's not a must-have, and it's definitely something you should not break the bank in order to enjoy your game, your Marvel Strike Force experience. So yeah guys, that's gonna be the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you smash that like button, and if you found the information helpful, make sure you share it with your friends on Facebook and Discord. If you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe for more Marvel Strike Force content, and I will catch you guys later.